Hi everybody, welcome to Amy Nolte Music. This video is brought to you by CuriosityStream and my streaming service, Nebula. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you will have seen videos about how to comp when you're playing piano, how to be the one who plays the chords. I tell you to start with thirds and sevens. I show you in my Jazz Bible video how to slowly go about adding 13s and 9s, sometimes altered tones, but I don't think I've ever actually taken you through a tune and shown you how to do it as we go and how to make decisions about these kinds of chords. I want to do that today. I'm going to show you on The Sunny Side of the Street, a great tune by Dorothy Fields and Jimmy McHugh. If you stick around to the end of the video and find out how to get my streaming service Nebula, you can watch the extended version of this video where we go through how to do this over a blues and over a minor blues. Let's get started. All right, the first thing to do when you're figuring out the chords to a song and where you're going to place them in your hand on the piano is to do thirds and sevens. So let's quickly do that. If you look at my Jazz Bible, which I hope that you always just kind of have handy, like sitting on your piano, it's really helpful until you get the hang of things. It's available here if you click the card that you see. When we see C6, to us, it basically means the same as C major 7. We'll talk more about that later. But for us right now, I'd like to start as close to the middle of the piano as we can. We're always going to put either the third or the 7 on the bottom, but right now we're only doing thirds and sevens, so it makes it easy. I put the 7 on the bottom to stay as close to the middle of the piano as I can. Like that. So just thirds and sevens right now. Here we go. 7 and 3 of C major is right there. Now what we're going to do is figure out how to get to E7 and play the third and 7 there. E7. Well, we could either go here or we could go here. Now when you're figuring out third and 7 of a dominant chord, that's any chord that is a letter directly followed by a 7. Nothing between, no major, no minor, just E7. We're going to play the scale, the major scale, and then all we're going to do is take the third note of that and we're going to flat the 7. That's how we know the third and 7 of a dominant chord. Whatever key we're in, whatever the name of the chord is, we play the major scale, find the third, take the 7 and flat it. That's how you play a dominant chord, the third and 7 anyway. So we were here, we could hop to here, we could also hop to here. It's about equal distance. I'm going to say let's go here though, for E7. Now we've got F major 7 coming up and it's really close. It's right here. So in order to figure out the third and 7 of F major, all we have to do is play the F major scale and remember what the third and 7 are. 3, 7, there they are. All right, now we've got B minor 7 flat 5. Luckily, we don't have to think about the flat 5 right now. We just think about the third and 7, and it's really close. We've already actually got the 7 of B minor. We just have to lower to the flatted third here. So we've got flatted third and flatted 7th in the key of B, right? So if we wanted to figure out minor for the key of B, we play a B major scale. We take the 7th, we flat it, we take the 3rd, we flat it. We've got a D and an A, and we're going to put them right there. And now we've already done E7. We know where it's at. It's really close. It actually has a common tone. And here comes A minor. It's also going to be really close, right there. I'm going to go a little faster now. D7 is going to be right here. D minor, here. G7 here. Now we're going to hop back up and kind of do it again. A7, D minor, G7. You can see that as we play these, all the notes are really close together, and sometimes we're descending and descending. That can happen in a well-written tune. We're going to go back and do it again. Can't you hear the pitter-pat, and the happy tune is your step. Life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. Now, it's because we were here with our G7. Right now, when we cadence to C6 again, I'm just going to do it right here. So we've made our way all the way from this C6 down to this C6. We're starting to get a little muddy. Like I said, I like to stay right in the middle of the piano. So for the next section, G minor 7, I'm going to hop up. I could do a G minor 7 right here, but I'm going to do it here so that I'm back at the beginning, or in the middle of the piano. We're going to change to C7. We've already got the 7. We're going to move to the 3rd here. We've got it right there. Now F major, back to C7, back to F, A minor, We could go either way. We could come to here or we could go to here. I kind of like how it sounds to go high. And it gives us room to keep descending because, like I said, we will descend. D7, D minor. Now we've got like a G sus to a G7. When you see a sus, it means that you omit the third and play the fourth instead. So we can play the fourth and the 7, and then the third and the 7. And then we're back, right back where we started. And what we can do now is play the melody along. Don't skip learning the melody. We've got to learn the melody to every song that we ever take on. It's important to learn the melody correctly. It's important to learn how to sing it. It's important to learn how to play it. It's even important to learn the lyric. You can just do whole notes. Chances are you'll go slower than me, and that's cool, that's fine. But now that we've got those thirds and 7s, I'll let you know that you ought to practice those until you've got them, and they're just as smooth as I was playing them right there, as whole notes and half notes. Then when you've got it, add some rhythm. Put on a metronome. You've got to click, 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 ba, 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 ba. This is a good one. Ba, 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 ba. Just give it some rhythm, play along with a metronome, get creative with your rhythms. But now it's time to think about adding more notes than this. We're going to get up to 4 notes for our rootless voicings. Third and 7 still stands. That's why I had you learn it first. All of this, we're still going to use it. And the most important part about it is that you know what your bottom note already is. Your bottom note should always be the 3rd or the 7. There are exceptions to this rule as you become a better player, but at first, 3rd and 7 on the bottom, and I use 3rd and 7 on the bottom at least 90% of the time because those notes just give way to each other. It's so cool. Like you can see that the 3rd of E7 comes right up to the 3rd of F major, and it is the 7 of B minor, and then the 3rd of E7, and then the 7 of A minor, and the 3rd of D7, and the 3rd of D minor, and the 7 of G7. They're very close. You're always going to be so close if you've got the 3rd or the 7 on the bottom. It makes for really nice voice leading. All right. When you're on a major chord, we'll have the 3rd and 7. We're also going to add the 9. We're also going to add the 13. I know that a lot of people probably want to add the 5. It's okay. It's just a little boring. I teach the 13. I learned that from Mark Levine in his jazz piano book when I was in high school, and I've just stuck to it. Doesn't mean that sometimes I don't play the 5, but most of the time I think the 6 sounds more interesting. The 6 and the 13, they're the same thing. And now, because this chord is called C6, we've got it, right? We're covering it. Another way to play C6, if you'd like it to sound a little more basic, is to just go ahead and play the triad and add the 6. Sometimes, like if you're playing traditional jazz, you might want to do that kind of thing. But if you've got a modern jazz band, you probably want this kind of a sound. Now we're going to move to E7, right? We've already got there. We're going to add the 9. We're in the key of E, right? Now we're thinking about E. So the 9 is the same as the 2 in the key of E. In any key, the 9 is the same as the 2. 9, 2, they're the same. So there's our F sharp. We've got it. We also need the 6th degree because it's the same as the 13, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's why it's called the 13, is because when you start to stack up chord tones, we call them 7, 9, 11, 13, like that. All right, so sometimes I might say 6 when I mean 13 or vice versa, and it's okay. This is our E7 chord. We've got major 3rd, flatted 7th, 13, and 9, and we're going to move to F major. It's right here. It's very close. 3, 13, 7, 9. Now we're moving to B minor flat 5. When you play a minor 7 flat 5 chord, it's a little different. And there are some other ways to play it, different ways to play it, but we've already got 3rd and 7, right? The other 2 notes I'm going to have you add are 1 and flat 5. So a flat 5 in the key of B would be, the regular 5 would be F sharp, the flat 5 would be F, and I'm just going to have you add the root. It's one of the only chords that I'll let you add the root on, diminished chords and half diminished chords. Then, if we're going to keep the same E7 as before, we totally can. But what I like to do when we've got this flat 5 is to keep that sound as we move to the dominant chord that follows the minor 7 flat 5 chord. Almost all the time, a dominant chord will follow a minor 7 flat 5 chord. And it's nice to keep the flat 5 and make it's the flat 9 of the dominant chord that follows. It's kind of a cool trick. This is the one I'm going to show you to play. So we're also going to take that 13 and flat it. And here's why. We can also call it, instead of flatted 13, we can call it sharp 5, because the sharp 5 is going to end up being the third of the next chord that comes. So this is a minor 2-5-1. We've got B to E to A, right? B half diminished, E dominant, A minor. So we just kind of keep in mind when we see this pattern of half diminished followed by dominant followed by minor, that we can make a couple little tweaks to make it sound so nice. You can see how nice this will sound if I go. Here it comes. Isn't that nice? And when we get to this minor chord, we've already got 3 and 7, or 7 and 3. We're just going to add 9 and 5. The minor chord, it's cool to add the 5 on. Now the nice thing is from A minor to D7, all we have to do is move one note. There's our D7, and we've got flat 7, 3, 13, and 9. Now we go to D minor. It's going to be here, 3, 5, 7, 9. Now to get to G7, all we have to do is move this note here, because it's a 2-5 in the key of C. Same with A minor. It's a 2-5 in the key of G, right? A to D is 2 and 5 in the key of G. So the rootless voicing movement is so easy when you're playing 2-5-1s or just 2-5s like we are here. Now we've got the 2-5 in the key of C, right? 2-5-1. Now we're gonna just go back up and almost do the same thing again, but we're gonna go E minor to A7. So that's another 2-5. So we just have this movement. It's really nice. And then we've got this one. And then we're going to do it all again. Now to go to G minor, we're just about there. We have this note. It's going to stay the same. We're just going to go like this. We've got 7, 9, 3, 5. Now this is a 2-5 in the key of F. It's the first 2-5-1 that we're actually going to see all the way through. G minor to C7. All you have to do is move your pinky. Now F major, you're going to keep these outer two notes and move the inner two in. That way we have 7, 9, 3, and 13. Now we're going to switch to C7. It's nice and close. And then back to F major. Now we're going to go to A minor. We've already played it. D7. D minor. We'll do this for G sus to G7, just like that. It's almost like a D minor to G7. Now we're back to the beginning. We might want to finish that C chord right here so that we play the whole 2-5-1, and then we'll hop up. And then you're going to do the exact same thing that we did when we had thirds and sevens. You're going to play these with a metronome, whole notes and half notes. Then you're going to add the melody along and you're going to play them with whole notes and half notes. The same thing. Then you're going to add some rhythm. Play with a click. Get your tempo faster and faster until it's smooth. It's not going to be easy. And some of you are going to need to take some staff paper. You can buy my staff paper also if you click on the card right up here. It's the best staff paper I know because I helped develop it. But take your staff paper, bar off all of the chords to Sunny Side of the Street, write the chord names at the top, and then write every single one of these voicings just as whole notes and half notes. You don't even need stems on them, just little circles, so that you can start to just feel how these chords feel in your left hand. And This is how you get going on to play with a trio, to play with a quartet. When you've got somebody else playing the bass notes, these rootless voicings are going to be everything to you. This video is sponsored by CuriosityStream and my streaming service, Nebula, where you can see an extended version of this video where we'll go over how to do the exact same thing, but using a blues and also a minor blues. Click on the link that you see in the description, the one that you see right here, in order to get this CuriosityStream Nebula bundle for a really low price of under $15 for the whole year. YouTube is great, and you can see all of my videos there, but you can also see all of my videos, plus extended cuts, bonus materials, completely extra videos that you won't see on YouTube, over on Nebula. Nebula is a streaming platform for exclusively educational and ad-free content. It's the only place where you can watch my exclusive video essay about the Brian Wilson composition Surf's Up, as well as other extended versions of my videos and PDFs that you won't get on YouTube. You also get to watch my videos at least a day or two early if you go over to Nebula. I always put them there first. You'll get Nebula for free when you sign up for CuriosityStream using my link. One of the reasons I like Nebula most is because there's no algorithm over there. If you'd like to watch my videos, if you'd like to watch Adam Neely's videos, if you'd like to watch Mary Spender, 12-Tone, Listening In, or any other number of educational content creators' videos, you just go over there and search for them and watch them. There's no algorithm pushing anybody stronger than pushing anybody else. There's nothing predicting what you want to see next, and most importantly, there aren't any ads. Nebula now has apps for iOS, Android, Fire Stick, Roku, Apple TV, and Android TV. I really care about Nebula, which is why I'm so excited that it is partnered with CuriosityStream, the best place on the internet for documentaries, with entire sections devoted to topics like archaeology, Mars, the world wars, biographies, the mind, medical advancements, and so many more categories, including music. With this bundle, you'll get both services, CuriosityStream and Nebula, and as long as you stay subscribed to CuriosityStream, Nebula will come with it. As soon as you sign up for CuriosityStream, you'll get an email, a welcome email from Nebula telling you how to sign up there as well. CuriosityStream.com/Amy Nolte is the code to sign up. Thanks so much, everybody. I'll see you next time on Amy Nolte Music.